Hello and welcome to the 12th week of Season 23, Season of the Wish, starting on February 13th, 2024. So, for Week 12, let's get going with our Legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Divilian Mist, and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blind World features Hive enemies and the Plague, Kregar. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Shattered Ruins, which can be located over in the Spine of Keris on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a mysterious disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Zortl in Sorrow's Harbour. And the Nightmare hunt this week will be Tanix, Isolation, Zydron, Servitude, and Ghoul, Rage. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. For the 30th Anniversary expansion, Dares of Eternity Legendary rounds are Fallen, Hive, and for the final round, Zydron. The loot rotation will be on Week 3's rotation, with the Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set being available. The weapons available this week are the Kinetic Rapid Fire Frame Auto Rifle Chroma Rush, the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Grenade Launcher Ignition Code, the Void Rapid Fire Frame Pulse Rifle Grid Skipper, the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Sidearm Farewell, the Solar Pinpoint Slug Frame Shotgun Sonja's Tail, the Void Rapid Fire Frame Machine Gun Shattered Cipher, the Arc Precision Frame Fusion Rifle Main Ingredient, the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle Long Shadow, the Arc Armorlon Adaptive Frame Sidearm Last Dance, the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Shotgun Toil and Trouble, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Shotgun Wishbringer, and the Void Adaptive Frame Pulse Rifle Last Perdition. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is the Ghosts, where the modifiers are Fire Pit and Raider Shields, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Also this week you will have Altar of Reflection's Choice and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne World weapon, Veritas armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is First Contact, with extra shields, lock loadouts, and extra champions. Barrier and Unstoppable champions, Void Threat, Scorched Earth, Overcharged weapons, Stasis and Solar Surges, Overcharged shotguns, and Galvanized on hero difficulty only. The Partition mission will be Ordnance, Contest mode enabled with Overload and Unstoppable champions, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand shields, Air Superiority modifier with Solar and Stasis surges. And the Vex incursion this week will be Umshire Park. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the Pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon exotic mission on the EDZ, and the Starcrossed exotic mission in the Helm. For the Season of the Deep, all 3 fishing ponds are now exotic all week. Raids and Dungeons. The Crota's End Raid challenge this week is the second encounter, Cross the Bridge, called Precarious Balance. Guardians cannot step on the bridge while it is fully formed. Plus, if you complete the weekly challenge on Master, you'll get an Adept weapon. The Adept weapon you get is a random drop, but works on a knockout system. You will get a new one with every challenge you complete every week until you've unlocked them all. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the third encounter, Macrocosm, called Cosmic Equilibrium. Players must swap all of the dark planets to the left side of the room and all of the light worlds to the right. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Daughters of Oryx, called Under Construction. Players cannot stand on the same plate twice in a single phase. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the fifth encounter, Atheon, called Ensembler's Refrain. Each player teleported can only destroy one oracle in each spawn set. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the second encounter, Atrax 1, called Copies of Copies, where you must not send any Atrax 1 replicant debuffs into the airlock/space. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the second encounter, Spy Defense, called A Link to the Chain. This is where all Guardians must receive the Enlighten buff at the same time. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Vault, called Keep Out. Guardians must ensure that no Might of Riven Knights make it to the Center Chamber during the Vault fight. Your Pinnacle raid will be the Vow the Disciple over on the Throne World, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the first encounter, Acquisition, called Swift Destruction, where Guardians must kill all champions within a few seconds of each other on all rounds. The second encounter, the Caretaker, called Base Information, where runners cannot pick up more than one stack of knowledge on each run. The third encounter, the Upender, called Defenses Down. This is where each player cannot kill more than one Taken Knight in total. And the fourth encounter, Rolk, called Looping Catalyst. This is where Guardians must not lose the Leeching Force buff before the damage phase. Also, with the Vow the Disciple being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic Pulse Rifle Collective Obligation. The Pinnacle dungeon will be the Prophecy over in the Legends tab, and our exotic mission Rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic grenade launcher being the main reward. Craftable weapons available from this mission include the Solar Waveframe Grenade Launcher Explosive Personality, the Stasis Rapid Fire Frame Machine Gun Recurrent Impact, the Void Precision Frame Bow Under Your Skin, the Arc Rapid Fire Frame Auto Rifle Sweet Sorrow, the Stasis Adaptive Frame Sniper Thoughtless, and the Kinetic Rapid Fire Frame Pulse Rifle Peace of Mind, with the Tusk Allegiance armor set. Next up, challenges. We have now had all 66 challenges over the first 10 weeks of the season. So, as a reminder, if you complete 63 out of the 66, you can get a large pile of Bright Dust to spend at the Eververse store in-game. Here's a few that you might have missed that you might want to get completed in the next few months. Boss Battle. Defeat bosses in Strikes or Vanguard playlists. Bonus progress is granted for defeating bosses on Hero difficulty or higher. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. Over Specialise. Get 100 final blows with weapons using special ammo in ritual activities. Earn bonus progress by defeating Guardians. 4. Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Darkest Nightfall. Complete any Nightfall strike on Hero difficulty or higher. Bonus progress is granted for completing Nightfalls above Hero difficulty. 4. Challenge XP++, Bright Dust and a Nightfall weapon. Taking all challenges. Complete weekly playlist challenges. 4. Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Throne World activities. In the Throne World, complete bounties and earn progress by completing patrols, public events, and looting lost sectors. 4. Challenge XP and Bright Dust. Round and round we go. Generate orbs of power in Vanguard, Gambit, or Crucible playlists. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. Absolutely stunning. Stun 50 champions. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. And Mod Collector. Unlock 12 artifact mods. 4. Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Hello! As a reminder, your daily lost sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of threats, shields, champions and exotic armour you will find inside. But if you're new to the game or using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the lost sector normally to have it show up on your map as a legend/master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team, but you'll only be able to earn a chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. This season will see the introduction of Gunsmith engrams, as well as a selection of foundry weapons for completing Legend and Master lost sectors while solo, with Legend being a 70% chance to Master being 100%, assuming the Guardian is thorough enough to leave no champion standing. Thorough completions on Master difficulty will also have the advantage of weapons dropping an additional perk in either the 3rd or 4th column. The weapons available from the lost sectors are grouped into 4 weapons per day over 4 days, and after the 4th day the cycle repeats back to the first set. The following weapons will be available from the lost sectors during the Season of the Wish. Day 1, the Strand High Impact Frame Fusion Rifle Nox Perennial 5, the Strand Adaptive Frame Auto Rifle Old Sterling, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Grenade Launcher Marcelian C, and the Stasis Omolon Adaptive Frame Sidearm Sinua SI6. Day 2, the Stasis High Impact Frame Pulse Rifle Psychomatic 5, the Strand Precision Frame Scout Rifle Glissando 47, the Strand Vice Rapid Fire Frame Sniper Rifle Urakanji, and the Arc Adaptive Frame Sword Nazaruddin. Day 3, the Solar Lightweight Frame Sidearm Heliocentric QSC, the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Sniper Rifle Last Foray, the Arc Aggressive Frame Shotgun Hand in Hand, and the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Pulse Rifle Battle Scar. Day 4, the Nadir Void Adaptive Frame Sword Geodetic HSM, the Arc Aggressive Frame Hand Cannon Combined Action, the Void Wave Frame Grenade Launcher Harsh Language, and the Solar Adaptive Frame Auto Rifle Coronacha 22. This week's rotation will start on Weapon Set 2 on Tuesday's reset. Tuesday, February 13th will be Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City for exotic helmets, Solar Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Void Shields, Epitaph Modifier, Overcharged Shotguns with Overload and Unstoppable Champions. Wednesday, February 14th will be the Bay of Drowned Wishes on the Dreaming City for exotic boots, Arc Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Void Shields, Raider Shield Modifier, Overcharged Snipers with Overload and Unstoppable Champions. Thursday, February 15th will be the Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City for exotic gauntlets, Solar Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Void and Solar Shields, Epitaph Modifier, Overcharged Swords with Overload and Unstoppable Champions. Friday, February 16th will be Perdition on Europa for exotic chests, Arc Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Arc and Void Shields, Shocker Modifier, Overcharged Fusion Rifles with Barrier and Overload Champions. Saturday, February 17th will be Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic helmets, Void Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Void Shields, Shocker Modifier, Overcharged Grenade Launchers with Barrier and Overload Champions. Sunday, February 18th will be Concealed Void on Europa for Exotic Boots, Solar Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Void and Solar Shields, Arachno Modifier, Overcharged Trace Rifles with Barrier and Overload Champions. And finally, back round to Monday, February 19th will be Thrillerdrome on Neptune for Exotic Gauntlets, Void Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Arc and Void Shields, Shocker Modifier, Overcharged Grenade Launchers with Barrier and Overload Champions.
Lead the way.
Our 12th featured Nightfall of the season will see us face off against Once Faris, the Exhumed Tether, in the highest battlegrounds Moon, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. This Nightfall is free to play. You'll be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, Ascendant shards, and adept Nightfall ciphers. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with Ascendant shards in Grand Masters. Enemies will have Arc, Solar, and Void shields. Your Nightfall modifiers are hero difficulty, maximum effective level 1765, matchmaking is available, enemies have extra shields, champions foe, you will face barrier and unstoppable champions, you can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff, or unlock anti-champion mods from the seasonal artifact. Void threat, 25% increase for incoming void damage. Overcharged weapons, weapons overcharged from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increase damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. Solar and strand surges, 25% bonus to outgoing solar and strand damage. Overcharged snipers, 25% bonus damage with snipers. Scorched earth, enemies throw grenades significantly more often. Galvanize, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun. Legend difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. No matchmaking. Equipment locked, you'll be unable to change your equipment once the mission starts. Master difficulty, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Champions mob, this difficulty adds more champion enemies. Famine, all ammunition drops are significantly reduced. Grandmaster difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized, Scorched Earth and Famine. Join in progress disabled. Extinguish, if your fireteam falls in a restricted zone, your team is returned to orbit. Limited revives, gain additional revives by defeating champions, up to a maximum of 20. Contest mode, which caps your power level to make enemies more of a challenge. Fire pit, when defeated acolytes spawn fireballs that cause damage over time. And Chafe, radar is disabled. To combat champions, you have access to subclass counters as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods. This season's artifact is the Queen's Force Sensor. The anti-champion mods available this week are Anti-Barrier Sidearm, Unstoppable Hand Cannon, and Unstoppable Bow. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Anti-Barrier, the Kinetic Bow Wishender, the Kinetic Linear Fusion Rifle Arbalist, the Kinetic Pulse Rifle Revision 0, the Solar Energy Hand Cannon Ariana's Vow, the Solar Heavy Sword The Lament, and the Titan Gauntlet's Second Chance, which gain a second charge of a shield throw melee which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. For Unstoppable, the Kinetic Fusion Rifle Bastion, the Kinetic Hand Cannon Malfeasance, the Kinetic Scout Rifle Touch of Malice, the Solar Energy Sidearm Devil's Ruin, the Void Heavy Bow Leviathan's Breath, the Titan Gauntlet Sash and Wake, where Fusion Grenade hits stun unstoppable champions, and the Hunter Gauntlet Zathras' Embrace, which have a chance to stun unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. The Nightfall featured weapon to obtain this week will be the Void High Impact Frame Rocket Launcher, the Braytech Osprey. The Braytech Osprey has a base blast radius of 90, velocity of 41 and handling of 64. It can roll with bipod, lasting impressions and destabilizing rounds. With auto-loading holster, cluster bombs and keep away. It has the origin trait of stunning recovery, where if you stun a champion you partially refill the magazine, trigger health regen and improve your recovery for a short duration. And Vanguard Vindication, where final blows with the weapon grant a small amount of health. Available in the 6v6 playlist will be Control. Control is a variation of Team Deathmatch, with the added variable of 3 capture points on the map, in which teams will need to work together to capture and hold the point. Guardians conquer capture points by standing on them while no enemies are in capture range. The process takes about 10 seconds and is not affected by the number of Guardians taking part in the capture. Each team begins with a capture point under their control, the one that is closest to their starting area. The third capture point will initially be neutral. Depending on the number of capture points held by a team, the points rewarded for killing an opponent varies. The scoring is calculated as follows. Base kill rewards plus 1 point. Zone advantage: when a team holds 2 capture points, killing an enemy will reward the team with 2 points. Power play: when a team holds all 3 capture points, killing an enemy will reward them with plus 3 points. Capture: conquering a capture point rewards the team that claimed it with plus 1 point. Capturing a point will reward you and your team a small portion of super energy. If you are on the point while it's captured, you will gain additional energy on top of this small portion. During a control match, there is only one power ammo spawn location. It will spawn in at 45 seconds and then every 120 seconds. Control matches feature an 8-minute time limit, and all players will respawn automatically 5 seconds after the death mechanics. The first team to 150 points, or the team that has the most points at the end of the time limit, is declared the winner. And Team Scorch will be available in the Party Relentless playlist. Team Scorch is a 6v6 PvP mode where all players wield a Scorch Cannon. Equipped weapons and abilities cannot be used in this game mode. Movement abilities, e.g. lift, jump and glide, sprinting and emotes can be used. Players are forced to use a Scorch Cannon that cannot be dropped. The Scorch Cannon has 100 ammo, which is replenished on respawn. Matches have a 7-minute timer, players have a 3-second respawn timer, kills give plus 1 point each. The first team to reach 60 points wins. If the timer runs out before the team reaches 50 points, the team with the largest score wins. The player's current and longest kill streaks are shown at the top of the screen below the score. Showdown will also be available in the 3v3 playlist. In Showdown, 2 teams of 3 compete in a round-based twist on the standard team deathmatch. Teams have to work together to score as many kills as they can across a series of 5 timed rounds. If each team manages to win 2 rounds apiece, a 5th Showdown round commences, in which each player has only 1 life, kicking off a tense elimination-style tiebreaker. Rounds are 90 seconds with a score limit of 10. Revives are available, and reviving a down teammate before they respawn will take the point back from the opposing team. And available in the Crucible Labs playlist this week will be Relic. Relic is a 6v6 PvP party mode where all players wreak havoc and destruction on their foes with a relic weapon. Relics include the Aegis Shield from Vault of Glass, the Synaptic Spear from Season of the Risen, and the Scythe from Season of the Haunted. Each player charges their personal relic energy by defeating opponents with their normal loadout. Upon reaching full charge, players can acquire the relic from the Relic Depot. Defeating relic holders and using relics to defeat opponents earns points for the team.
Delightful!
And Saint 14 will be back at the weekend with Trials of Osiris Dominion, bringing with him a whole host of rewards for players who do make it to the lighthouse and open the chest. These include the Hero's Wake exotic Ghost Shell, the Valiant Memory exotic Ship, the Survivor's Journey exotic Sparrow, a new armor set, and the new Trials shader Visor Regalia. Trials of Osiris Dominion is a 3v3 PvP high-stakes game mode with a twist of a capture point. In Dominion, 2 teams of 3 go head-to-head in a battle for control of a capture point. Teams can either work together to capture the control point, or eliminate the enemy team to win the round. Only available from Friday Reset until Tuesday Weekly Reset, Trials gives every player the chance to show off their PvP skills to obtain some of Destiny's most sought-after weapons and armour. Players that compete in Trials of Osiris will have all of their games tracked to a passage card, a ticket purchased from Saint 14 in the lower hangar of the tower. Winning rounds and matches in Trials of Osiris will grant exclusive weapons, armour, Pinnacle gear, masterwork materials, and even adept gear for the most skilled players who can reach the lighthouse with a flawless ticket of 7 games won and no losses. 5 round wins will bag you the match for your passage card. By competing in Trials, you do have a chance to pick up 2 Pinnacle engrams from playing each week, one from 50 round wins and the other from winning 7 games. These do not have to be done all in one go, but you do have to complete them before the weekly reset. Also, adding a little more incentive to play Trials this weekend, there will be bonus Trials ranks available all weekend long.
Earn your honour, Guardian.
Riven's Wishes continues this week, where players can visit Marasov in the Helm to accept a new weekly quest with a high-risk objective in the Dreaming City, such as completing legendary lost sectors or dungeons. Upon completion of these weekly objectives, players can return to Mara to receive a wish token. Each week you can use this token to choose a prize from one of the 3 different categories. Category 1, Last Wish Resonance, where you can choose a red bordered Last Wish raid weapon. These are the Kinetic Rapid Fire Frame Sniper Rifle Supremacy, the Kinetic High Impact Frame Scout Rifle Transfiguration, the Solar Adaptive Frame Rocket Launcher Apex Predator, the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Pulse Rifle Chattering Bone, the Arc Adaptive Frame Handgun and Nation of Beasts, the Arc Adaptive Frame Fusion Rifle Techium Force, the Solar Lightweight Frame Bow Tyranny of Heaven, and the Void High Impact Frame Auto Rifle Age Old Bond. Category 2, Exotics, where you can choose a piece of Lightfall Year Exotic Armour. For the Hunters, the Speedloader Slacks, Search Arachne's Facade, Triton Vice, and the Mothkeeper's Wraps. For the Titans, the Cadmus Ridge Lance Cap, Abeyant Leap, a Bull Warden, and the Pyrogale Gauntlets. For the Warlocks, Balador's Wrathweavers, Swarmers, Cenotaph Mask, and the Briarbinds. Category 3 Miscellaneous, where you can choose from a variety of other rewards, such as Dawning and Fetter of the Lost mementos, Ascendant Shards, Ascendant Alloys, and Exotic Ciphers. Riven's Wishes will offer new quests for 6 weeks, but you will have time to complete them and earn rewards up through the Final Shapes release.
That is amazing.
Also continuing this week will be Moments of Triumph 2023, with a collection of 30 challenges celebrating everything you've been able to achieve in the past year. If you've been active, you'll likely already have some of these completed, which just gets you closer to getting the 26 you'll need for the 2023 title. Along the way, you'll also earn some event rewards, including the new Laurel Shell for your Ghost, and the Fire Guilt Quadrig Sparrow, plus access to purchase the 2023 Moments of Triumph shirt.
Get back out there.
And that's it for the 12th week of Season of the Wish. Thank you for watching. Allons-y.
Guardian down.